Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Before the Kickoff podcast. The NFL playoffs are here. It is Wildcard round, and we just love the playoffs, don't we, Chase?
Oh, definitely. The playoffs are always exciting, especially because Super Bowl is almost here, and I love the Super Bowl.
Yes, don't we all? So we want to get into these games, so that's really going to be the main topic of discussion here. So let's start off with the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Houston, taking on the Houston Texans. The Cincinnati Bengals finished the season 10-6, while the Houston Texans finished 12-4. And the Houston Texans were the number 1 seed going into Week 17, but they lost it. They are now the number 3 seed, and they have to face the Bengals during Week 1 of the playoffs. Chase, who do you have in this game and why?
The Cincinnati Bengals, for me, are still a very young team. A young team that could upset the Houston Texans, but I still feel that the Texans, with the way they run their offense, in a kind of conservative type of manner, handing off to Arian Foster, could actually help them out a lot. Geno Atkins is a very good defensive tackle, I should say. He can play end also. It doesn't really matter, but even then, I feel that the lanes that they will create for Arian Foster will be big this game. And not to mention, I don't think Andy Dalton's ready for that D-line, and I just feel that the Houston Texans will win this football game, but they could get upset here. It's clearly possible.
Yeah, I actually have to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're going to upset the Houston Texans, and the real reason why is I really do not like how the Houston Texans are stumbling into the playoffs. They are not looking impressive at all. They have no momentum on their side. They really haven't done anything to impress me in a while. They lost to the Minnesota Vikings 23-6, Week 16, what was their worst game of the season. I realized they got blown up by New England, but that game against the Minnesota Vikings was just so ugly to watch. To watch the Houston Texans just do that horribly, and then they did horrible again this week, losing to the Indianapolis Colts, losing that bye week and number 1 seed that they had. So that's why they're playing Week 1. They shouldn't be playing Week 1. They knew if they would have beat Indianapolis, they would have gone on, had a bye week, and the fact that they let that go, that shocks me and that worries me, and I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. I love what Andy Dalton has done this year. He's improved over last year. We all know how great A.J. Green is. We all know how great Geno Atkins is. Look for Geno Atkins to bottle up the running game for the Houston Texans. I'm sorry, Houston Texans fans. I just have the Cincinnati Bengals upsetting you this year. Now let's move on to the NFC for a little bit. We have the Minnesota Vikings traveling to face the Green Bay Packers. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Packers in Week 17 to get to the playoffs. Do you see the same result, Chase Oliver?
I don't think lightning will strike twice for the Minnesota Vikings. They have a possible chance of most likely upsetting the Green Bay Packers again, but in all honesty, look at Green Bay's coaching staff. Look at Aaron Rodgers. You know this team is a ballin' team, and that this team is going to be studying film. You're giving them an extra week to figure out everything about the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to have trouble stopping AP. There's no doubt about it. But even then, I still think the Green Bay Packers will win this game and move on forward in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you here. I do think the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game. You said it best. Lightning will not strike twice. It was a really great game that the Minnesota Vikings played last week, don't get me wrong. But what was shocking to me, someone brought this to my attention, the Vikings have not won a game outside. They've won all 7 games at home, and then they beat the Texans in a dome, St. Louis in a dome, and they beat, the Detroit Lions in a dome. So they haven't even played outside, and now they have to play in Lambeau in the playoffs against Aaron Rodgers. No, I don't see the Minnesota Vikings win this game, but they are moving in the right direction. There's no doubt about that. And Adrian Peterson may have my MVP vote. I have to think about it a little bit more, but oh my God, what an impressive day he had yesterday. Really run the football fantastically, and it was really amazing to watch. Quick thoughts on Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson, I knew this kid was going to be special coming out of Oklahoma when he got drafted. I thought he was a little bit too low in his draft, especially when you look at people who were drafted ahead of him, Jamarcus Russell. But obviously, Adrian Peterson, great fill for the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to be he's probably my favorite back since LaDainian Tomlinson of the San Diego Chargers. He's just excellent to watch him run. The way he cuts in and out, the way he can make defenders just look silly. Even the greats have looked silly against Adrian Peterson. That's why he's still considered, no matter who wins the best running back award at the end of the year, he is always going to be considered, to me, the number one back in the NFL.
All right, Chase, it's time for your college minute of the week.
Well, we all know most of you guys lost your coaches in, Black Monday. And I hate to say it to you, but there's only one college coach that's worth a damn, and that's Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, I bragged about him last podcast. Teams are going to be looking at him. Now, who are teams that should really go after Chip Kelly? There's only two in mind. The Chicago Bears, who really need an offensive spark, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Those are the only two systems that I think will work for Chip Kelly, especially since he knows how to work in bad conditions, working up there in Oregon all those years. Now, moving on forward, New Year's Day is here. Happy New Year's to you guys. And we got bowl games. The Gator Bowl featuring Mississippi State, #WeBelieve, remember that, taking on Northwestern. I think Northwestern is going to win this game. The talent is unbelievable. Heart of Dallas Bowl, Purdue taking on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is a balling team. This team is still balling from last year, even though they lost a lot of pieces, and I think they're going to win this football game as well. South Carolina Gamecocks taking on Michigan. Not liking Michigan's chances here, especially what I've been reading about Denard Robinson and their backup QB. Not trusting them, so I'm going with South Carolina. The Georgia Bulldogs in the Capital One Bowl taking on Nebraska. This is going to be a great bowl game, and I'm actually going with the Georgia Bulldogs to win here. At the Rose Bowl, Wisconsin is back at the Rose Bowl, and they're taking on Stanford. That stout Stanford defense, I don't think they're going to stop Monty Ball and the Badgers, and I got Wisconsin upsetting Stanford. And finally, we got ourselves the Orange Bowl. Florida State taking on Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois, they're the first non-BCS school to play in a big-time BCS bowl game. Anything can happen in college football. Remember when Utah beat Alabama? Yeah, I do. That wasn't pretty. So Florida State, though, should win this game. But Jordan Lynch is a monster, and he's a player to watch. And that is my college football minute.
All right, now it's time for the segment, What Are You Doing? And this week, it's headed towards Tony Romo, okay? Tony Romo has been the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for a while now, and he's gotten them to one playoff appearance. And yesterday was absolutely shocking to me, the interceptions he threw. Now, the first two really didn't mean much. It was in the first quarter. The Redskins didn't even score off them anyway. But the last one was just a head-scratcher. Tony Romo tries to throw the ball to DeMarco Murray, who is absolutely covered. I don't know if Tony Romo needs vision, has vision problems, if he needs glasses, but I don't know what you're doing when you're trying to make that throw. Simply, Tony Romo gets the "What are you doing?" moment of the week. Now let's move on back to the wild card. We have the first game on the docket. We have the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Chase, who do you have in this game?
The Baltimore Ravens, I don't trust them whatsoever. I don't care that Ray Lewis is coming back. He can hype up his team. He can scream all he wants. But I don't trust them. And really, to be honest, after what I saw the Colts did to the Texans, I think they can pull off the upset. In fact, I think they can embarrass Baltimore, and all those Baltimore fans will chant, "Bullshit," all they want. But guess what? It won't matter. First off, there's no Ladarius Webb that I think would scare Andrew Luck away. T.Y. Hilton is balling it up as of late, and that Colts defense is looking nastier and nastier by the week. I'm going #Chuck Strong. I think the Colts will upset the Baltimore Ravens, and you Ravens fans may be mad at me, but hey, I'm just looking at it realistically. I really think your defense right now is not that great. Vic Ballard, if you've seen this dude run the football, this dude running the football is scary. I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts. Put that upset in there.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you, Chase, and I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew Luck.
Okay. He's good, Andrew Luck. Of course he's afraid of this Baltimore defense. Okay, you can't tell me he's not afraid of Ray Lewis making his big return. He's afraid of Jimmy Smith, who's taking over that cornerback depth. You can't tell me he's not afraid of this.
He ain't afraid.
The fact of the matter is, the Ravens are still a big team. They're a tough team to beat. The Bengals had trouble beating them last week. The only reason the Bengals beat the Ravens was because, A, the Ravens were resting their starters, and B, because Carlos Dunlap made a pick six, which was absolutely amazing to see that this man can still run well. So I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. I think Andrew Luck is going to be humiliated and exposed on national television.
Don't believe this man. The Ravens, Joe Flacco, he's going to cost this game for them. He's not elite. He's going to cost them. Don't believe him.
Okay, so let's move on, even though we disagree about that. Let's move on to the Seattle Seahawks going to the Washington Redskins. We have our NFC West writer, Chris Valde, here. Chris, give us some insight on this game.
Well, let me tell you something. I mean, we're looking at two obviously very talented rookie quarterbacks. You know, let's face it, everybody knows about RG3. He's had a phenomenal season. Many people see him as Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck. Now, what people don't know, honestly, about Russell Wilson, yes, Robert Griffin III has thrown his less interceptions. He's only thrown, 5 or 6 interceptions in the regular season. But, you know, you look at Russell Wilson, you know, him being in the Northwest, he doesn't get the media coverage in the Northeast, kind of like if he was in New York or he was in Miami, or if he was in Washington like RG3. But he's had a great season. He's thrown 26 touchdowns in the regular season. Can you believe that? 26 touchdowns on the season, Russell Wilson. Remember, everyone thought, oh, we give this big contract to Matt Flynn. That was not the case. Pete Carroll decided, I trust Russell Wilson, and look what happened. Brought him to the playoffs. But, you know, this should be a very good game. Alfred Morris has had an incredible season. You saw what he did on Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys. He literally ran over, the rushing defense of the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, the Seahawks, they got a pretty good running back themselves. And Marshawn Lynch, we all know that good defense in Seattle. They're getting some corners back from their suspension. And the Redskins, they're looking a little bit better on defense than they were early in the season. It's a tough call. But if you ask me to pick a winner here, I'm going to say the Redskins only because, you know, the Seahawks, they are a good team, but I just don't trust them totally 100% out of Seattle without that big crowd and, you know, really, let's face it, bad weather in Seattle. So I'm going to go with the Redskins.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Washington Redskins. I think that RG3, you know, I'm in love with this man. I'll be honest, you know. I would rather have RG3 than most of the quarterbacks in the league right now, probably more than 20 of the quarterbacks right now. I have my quarterback rankings coming up. You can see where he's placed on that. Probably a little bit too hard, but you'll get over it. Anyway, Robert Griffin III. All right, this man is amazing, and some people are bashing his Sunday night performance. And yes, RG3 did not convert a lot of the third downs there, but not only RG3, but Alfred Morris, who is the biggest steal in this draft. He went for 1,600 yards, and he was picking the 5th, 6th round this year. That's ridiculous, okay? This Redskins offense is great. Mike Shanahan knows what he's doing when he's coaching these guys, and also give some credit to Kyle Shanahan, who, not even RG3, but also Kirk Cousins, they also have done a great job with. They've done a great job picking these quarterbacks, making these quarterbacks even better. Robert Griffin III has thrown 5 interceptions in 2012. That's ridiculous. That's college stats for you there, and I have to go with Robert Griffin III.
No questions. I mean, I say it all the time on my predictions. RG3 juice. Where's the Russell Wilson juice? I don't want that juice. Why am I choosing Robert Griffin III over Russell Wilson? First off, it's at home. Redskins play great at home. That crowd's going to be loud. It's going to be loud. It's going to be 1999 loud, man. They're excited. I cannot pick against the Redskins. As much as I think Seattle's defense will hold Alfred Morris under 100 rushing yards. Yes, I'm saying that right here, right now. You can call me out on that. But I think they can hold them under 100 rushing yards. I don't think they're going to stop the pass. Even though Richard Sherman is having one of the greatest seasons I've seen in a quarterback, I don't think they're going to stop it. There's too much weapons there. That play action from Mike Shanahan is deadly. And I really do feel Robert Griffin III and the Redskins will be traveling to the Georgia Dome when it's all said and done.
Chris, do you have anything to add?
You know, I mean, you guys have really hit the nail on the coffin right there. I mean, this is going to be, above all, a really good game. I mean, you got Redskins who, I mean, let's face it, could be the most exciting offense in the National Football League with a good passing game, good talented wide receivers, a young, as you said, a steel running back in Alfred Morris. And you got a very talented defense in the Seahawks. You know, you could even say, oh, it's offense versus defense. You could definitely say that there. But the Seahawks also have a little bit of offense into themselves. But, you know, I agree. You know, the defense of the Redskins being at home is going to benefit them more than the Seahawks. They might get a little lost there. So, you know, as I said before, you know, I think the Redskins, you know, are going to get this game.
So we're going to play a little game here about the coaches that were fired on Black Monday. I'm going to say the coach's name. You're going to say whether yes or no they should have been fired. Also, you're wondering who got fired? Make sure to check out BeforeTheKickoff.com. We have our article up on that. So I'm going to say the name. You're going to say yes to whether or not they should have been fired or no, they should not have been fired. Understand the rules?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, Andy Reid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovie Smith.
No.
Nah. No.
Chan Gailey.
Yes.
Yes.
Pat Shermer.
Yes.
Yes.
Ken Wisenhunt.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Norm Turner.
Yes.
Definitely gonna have to say yes on that one.
And Romeo Crennel.
So stupid. Like, the Chiefs actually thought Romeo Crennel was good. Yes, this guy sucks.
All right, now I'm going to have to agree with that. You want to know who should have been fired? Not Mike Munchak. Give him another year. Anyway, guys, check out BeforeTheKickoff.com. You know you need to check it out. You know you need to get on that. Also, check out our Facebook, Twitter, Facebook.com/BeforeTheKickoff, Twitter.com/BTK. If you have dyslexia, it'll be down below for you to click and to love. Make sure to comment down below if you want to be part of our fans, part of the podcast. We didn't have a fan today, so make sure to comment down below. We'll get you on here. Make sure you have a Skype account ahead of time. Like I said, check out BeforeTheKickoff.com. For everybody here at Before the Kickoff, I'm James Christopher. And we'll check you out later. We're out.